Billionaire orders coffee. Waitress slips him a note that leaves him speechless. The note trembled in his hands as tears welled in his eyes. How could this stranger know the very words that would break through the walls he'd built around his heart? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Marcus Reed stepped into Daisy's diner looking like any other customer in his plain black t-shirt and jeans, except for the $50,000 watch on his wrist that he forgot to take off. At 32, he'd built a tech empire worth billions, but today, he just wanted a damn cup of coffee without someone kissing up to him. Lily Martinez had been working double shifts for 3 months straight. Between nursing school and helping her mom with medical bills, she was running on fumes. When the bell above the door jingled and the man with tired eyes sat in her section, something about him seemed familiar, but she couldn't place it. "Just black coffee, please," he said without looking up from his phone. What happened next would change both their lives forever. As Lily placed the steaming mug on the table, she slipped a folded napkin beside it. Marcus almost ignored it, thinking it was just her number. He got that a lot. But something made him unfold it. Sometimes the richest people are the poorest in what matters most. You look like you could use a friend more than another business deal. His head snapped up, eyes locking with hers as she walked away. How did she know? Had someone tipped her off? Was this some kind of setup? The truth was far more unexpected. "I didn't recognize you at first," Lily admitted when he cornered her by the coffee station. "But we went to Jefferson High together. You tutored me in math senior year when I was failing. You were just Marcus then, the smart kid who was kind to everyone." Marcus felt like he'd been punched in the gut. 15 years had passed, and he couldn't remember her face. What else had he forgotten while chasing success? "I don't need your pity," he snapped, instantly regretting his tone. "Good. 'Cause I'm fresh out," she fired back. "I just thought you looked as exhausted as I feel. Misery loves company, right?" For the first time in months, Marcus laughed, really laughed. He started coming to the diner every morning. They talked about everything except his money. She was the only person who called him on his BS, who made him remember the idealistic kid he used to be before boardrooms and betrayals hardened him. Then came the morning Lily wasn't there. "Hospital," the other waitress said. Her mom took a turn for the worse. Marcus found himself in the waiting room of County General, a place his private doctors would have sneered at. When Lily emerged, eyes red and shoulders slumped, something broke inside him. "The treatments aren't working," she whispered as he held her. "And the insurance won't cover the experimental option. I can't lose her, Marcus." He could solve this problem with the equivalent of pocket change. But he knew Lily well enough now. Her fierce independence would make her reject an outright offer of money. That night, as they sat on the roof of his penthouse looking at stars barely visible through city lights, Marcus realized he'd fallen in love with her. Not for her beauty or her wit, but for how she made him feel human again. "What would you do if money wasn't an issue?" he asked softly. "Finish nursing school. Take care of my mom. Open a clinic in our neighborhood where people could get care regardless of insurance." Her voice cracked. "But that's just a dream. Dreams are just goals without deadlines," he said, taking her hand. The next day, an anonymous donation covered her mother's experimental treatment. Lily was suspicious, but Marcus played dumb. Their relationship deepened, but Marcus kept hitting a wall. Lily wouldn't move in, wouldn't accept gifts, wouldn't let him solve her problems with his checkbook. "I'm not with you for what you can give me," she insisted during their biggest fight. "Why can't you understand that?" "Because everyone wants something from me," he shouted, years of frustration pouring out. "My whole life, people only see the dollar signs." "Then they're not seeing you," she said quietly. "And maybe you're not either." Marcus stormed out, driving aimlessly until he found himself at the construction site of his newest skyscraper. Standing in the darkness, looking at the monument to his success, he felt emptier than ever. The next morning, he returned to the diner with a decision made. He'd sell the company, start over, be the man who deserved someone like Lily. But when he arrived, Daisy herself served him. "Lily quit yesterday," she said. "Left this for you." Another note. His hands shook as he read it. "I love you enough to walk away. Find yourself again, Marcus. The boy who helped others because it was right, not because he could afford it." He's still in there. 3 months passed. Lily's mother recovered. Marcus disappeared from public life, prompting speculation about his company's future. Then one rainy Tuesday, Lily arrived for her shift at the free clinic where she'd found work after finishing her degree. A familiar figure sat in the waiting room. Marcus looked different. The designer clothes replaced with simple attire, the constant phone gone, his eyes clear and present. "I sold controlling interest," he said when they finally stood face to face. "Started a foundation instead. The first project is a chain of clinics in underserved neighborhoods." He paused. "I remembered who I wanted to be before the money. The boy you remembered when no one else did." Tears filled Lily's eyes as he continued. "I'm not here to sweep you off your feet or solve your problems. I'm here to ask if you'll help me with mine, building something that matters. Partner, not savior. Equal, not benefactor." "What if I say no?" she whispered. "Then I'll respect that. The foundation continues either way. This isn't conditional." Instead of answering, Lily reached into her pocket and handed him a note. With trembling fingers, he unfolded it. "I never needed you to be perfect. I just needed you to be real." And in that moment, surrounded by the people they both wanted to help, they found something money couldn't buy, a love built on seeing each other clearly. Their reunion at the clinic wasn't the end of their story. It was just the beginning of a new chapter. The first clinic opened in Lily's old neighborhood 6 months later. Marcus worked alongside contractors, his hands blistered from physical labor he'd never done before. When reporters asked why a billionaire was hanging drywall, he simply said, "Some things you need to build yourself to understand their value." Lily's mother, Elena, became the clinic's community outreach coordinator. Her recovery had been nothing short of miraculous, and she channeled her gratitude into helping others navigate the healthcare system that had nearly failed her. "You know he paid for my treatment, don't you?" Elena asked Lily one evening as they closed up the clinic. "I suspected," Lily admitted, "but he never said a word. That's when I knew he was the real deal," Elena said, squeezing her daughter's hand. "Not when he spent the money, but when he didn't need credit for it." Their work expanded to 3 clinics, then 5. Marcus and Lily moved into a modest apartment above the original location. His penthouse sold to fund a scholarship program for nursing students willing to work in underserved communities. The media dubbed them the Robin Hood couple, a nickname that made Marcus cringe and Lily laugh. "At least they didn't call us the Billionaire and the Waitress," she teased. But their path wasn't without obstacles. Marcus's former board members sued him, claiming his rapid divestment had damaged shareholder value. Old business rivals spread rumors that he'd lost his mind, that Lily was manipulating him for his fortune. The worst came when Lily's ex-boyfriend surfaced, selling stories to tabloids about how she'd always schemed to land a rich man. The headlines cut deep. "Gold diggers long con. How waitress trapped tech titan." "Maybe they're right," Lily said one night, her voice small as she scrolled through the vicious comments online. "Maybe I did manipulate you without even realizing it." Marcus took her phone and set it aside. "Remember our first real conversation at the diner? You told me to get over myself when I complained about board politics. I was out of line," she mumbled. "You were honest. No one had spoken to me like that in years." He lifted her chin. "You didn't see dollar signs when you looked at me. You saw the scared kid hiding behind success." Their wedding was held at Daisy's diner after hours, with only 30 guests, including Daisy herself, who insisted on baking the cake. Marcus wore the same black t-shirt he'd worn the day they reconnected. Lily wore a simple white dress and carried daisies. Instead of wedding gifts, they asked for donations to their newest project, mobile health clinics for rural communities. As they danced their first dance between the diner booths, Marcus whispered, "You saved me with a napkin note." Lily smiled against his shoulder. "And you saved me by remembering who you were." "Who we are," he corrected, spinning her beneath the twinkling lights strung across the ceiling. 5 years later, their foundation had helped over 1 million people. And on the anniversary of that first coffee, Marcus still slipped Lily a note each morning with her coffee. "Thank you for seeing me." If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that remind us what truly matters in life. And let me know in the comments which country you're watching from. I'd love to know how far this message of authentic love has traveled.